So I want to talk about overcoming fear. This time last week, I was an hour and 20 minutes away from giving my first public talk about smiling. And it went great. It was really well received. It was the most attended talk of the holistic fair in Ho Chi Minh. But I don't want to be talking about the success so much as more I'd like to talk about what I overcame to get to that point. Now I take you back a couple of years ago, and a good friend, Scott Bapty, who has a really successful health and fitness podcast, and I was going to be a guest on it. This was probably 2015, February, and we started the Skype talk, and we started the interview, and I froze. I was so nervous. I was thinking ahead of everything. I was just having a mild anxiety attack, and I couldn't complete the podcast. So I felt gutted about that. I mean, I tried and I just couldn't. So that was 2 years ago. And then last year, probably about March time, maybe sooner actually, maybe February time, 2016, I was to appear on an ultra marathon podcast to discuss my success with Watergate 16 hour that took place in Putrajaya, Malaysia. And this time I didn't even start the conversation. About an hour before, I remember messaging who hosted the podcast, and I just said, I'm having internet trouble. I wasn't having internet trouble. I was just in a complete state of panic, and I just didn't have any confidence. I allowed fear to completely override me. Now, I'm someone that has anxious tendencies, and these are just two examples where I've really recognised that. So last Sunday was kind of a big deal for me, and I'm proud that I was able to overcome a fear, because that feeling when you have accomplished something that you fear, whether it's rational fear or irrational, I mean, most of the time it's irrational, right? But that feeling after gave me such a great sense of accomplishment that I think we need to focus on when we do things out of our comfort zone. Now, the third G of smiling is growth, personal growth in particular, and growth only occurs when you do things that are outside of your comfort zone. You know, as tried and tested are the comments by the personal development people, such as, you know, magic happens outside your comfort zone and all of those sort of things. But they hold true, they are true. And it was kind of a reminder after I achieved what I achieved, as in just being able to show up, that I realised that, wow, it kind of, you know, it really is true. I mean, we grow as people, we grow through experiences that are daunting, that are fearful, that are scary, because we're doing things that we don't know the outcome of. But as long as we prepare, as long as we take our time to focus on everything in our control and letting go of everything that isn't, we kind of get to a nice place in time. And it was certainly one of those moments last week. So this is really just to say, whatever you're fearing right now, do it. Jump headfirst into it. Just embrace it and give it your best shot, because on the other side of fear is that sense of accomplishment, and it's continuing progress, right? Once you've achieved what you feared, you're looking at the next thing and thinking, wow, what's possible? And this is just from my experience, but it has been a week, and I'm still feeling proud, because it was something that I really, really struggled with. And now now I've grown mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually from the experience. So I think we can use the experiences, the fear, to propel us to far more, and continually looking to be outside of our comfort zone, I feel from experience, is a real place where growth occurs, and satisfaction and pride, all key characteristics of a good life. So I thought I'd just share that with you. I'd leave the question, what are you fearful of right now? And what are you going to do about it? Me again. I just watched it back and I just wanted to add a couple of things. You might be wondering what tools I've used to overcome the obstacle, overcome the fear, and I must point in the direction of this book, Mindfulness in 8 Weeks by Michael Chaskalson. Might have done that wrong, but this was the start of my journey into mindfulness, and Headspace, the meditation app. Those two were absolutely key in helping me, as it says here, clear my mind and calm my life. For someone that, like I've mentioned before, has anxious tendencies, I really found benefit in meditation, in quieting the mind, in recognising thoughts and feelings as that. And something, I think Thích Hanh, a Buddhist Zen monk here in Vietnam, from Vietnam, said, imagine the mind as blue sky and your thoughts and feelings are just clouds and they just pass by. That was a real special moment for me where something clicked and I recognised that I'm far more than just my thoughts, I'm far more than my feelings. And we have a conscious choice whether we embark in getting tangled up and creating a story beyond our thoughts and feelings. So it was just that moment of, something clicked. And a second thing that really helps me when I'm doing something that is outside of my comfort zone is Stoic philosophy. This is an incredible book by a chap called Ryan Holiday, a prolific writer on all things overcoming adversity, overcoming obstacles. He's actually wrote a book called The Obstacle is the Way, another book, Ego is the Enemy, and this is a great introduction to Stoic philosophy. It's outstanding. So it's just a great way to, again, focus on what you're in control of and not to give concern over what you're not in control of. And Stoicism, or Stoicism, however you want to pronounce it, and mindfulness and meditation are the two key tools that over the last couple of years have really helped me overcome my obstacles, overcome my adversities, overcome my anxious tendencies, or at least not overcome them, but be able to understand them, manage them, and not let them control me.